get the second
Let me know
on
when you're
deck
ready.
guy here.
I'm set.
Okay. Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Doing great, thanks.
I think, the number one thing right now with the team, it seems like just offensively it's struggling a bit. How can we jumpstart this team and get some more points on the board? 'Cause you're certainly going to need it here in the next few games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the name of the game is putting the round thing in the brown thing, right? I mean, we got to score baskets, and it's not going to get any easier. But I think one of the things we're seeing is an emergence of, Chris O'Brien's become a little bit more consistent for us than he was his first couple games, providing a little scoring. Malik Love. But we need to get our big three going too, and Will Donahue and Sean Lewis and David Hanson. So we're continuing to work every day to try to get those guys shots and improve our scoring margin.
At the heart of it, what's causing this team to really struggle, both in terms of points and field goal percentage, which go hand in hand?
Yeah, I think it's it's a little bit of shot selection. We need to initiate our offense from the inside out a little bit, and I think at times we go the other way where we're shooting maybe the three ball a little early. And then the ability to kind of create for others. One thing I think statistically that we've always talked about is having a positive assist to turnover ratio, and I think that we are that now. I know this last game we had single digit turnovers with 8 and 9 assists, and in the previous game against Hawaii we were 13 turnovers, 13 assists. So we're taking care of the ball better. We just got to get the thing to go in.
Yeah. This road trip, having covered Cal Poly for many, many years, this is maybe the most difficult road trip I can remember. 5 games, several big game opponents. The challenge of this road trip is when you're struggling offensively. How concerned are you about the team, really having, a tough road trip and having that snowball as you jump into league play here at the end of the month?
Yeah, absolutely. And the margin for error is minimal. We obviously know that, but as cliche-ish as it is, we are truly preparing for that December 30th game at home here against Long Beach, and we really feel like we're not playing UCLA and the San Diego States and Cals of the world is going to prepare us as good as any. Now, at the same token, you play one game at a time, and you want to go out and compete and try to be the best team you can and put your best showing. But we truly just feel like we've got to get better every game. In some aspects, and if that means somebody else stepping up and contributing from an offensive standpoint that maybe hasn't been, or we're trying to find bright spots, and of course trying to win the game. So it's going to be tough. We understand that, but we'll take one game at a time.
Yeah, in terms of getting better every game, coming off the Hawaii win, the emotional win, it seemed like you guys stepped back at Loyola Marymount. What happened down there, and what concerns came up from that game, only scoring 48?
Yeah, we just never could get in sync. We only had 4 turnovers in the first half, but 3 of the 4 were catastrophic, meaning that they led to run-out layups for them. So right away we get down 11-2, and now you're on the road, and we don't have great spurtability, as you say. We're just going to score a ton of points in a short amount of time, so now it becomes a grind. And start of the second half, we got the game right down to 3, and they come down and hit a basket at us, and really could never cut into it any more than that. So we just need to be more consistent, I think it is, and start the game out. We've had some games where we've started out well, and some games where we struggled a little bit. And on the road, you definitely have to be a little bit more in sync, so to speak, to make things happen.
And how about the UCLA game this weekend? It's the first time Cal Poly has played at Poly Pavilion. UCLA is unranked, as we know, but they just took number 4 Kansas down to the very end. Lost to Montana, I believe, yesterday or the night before. Tell us about UCLA, and I guess what it kind of means to go into one of the most hallowed arenas in college basketball.
Absolutely, it's it's very historical nonetheless, and although Coach Wooden's not there or not with us anymore, and obviously won't be there. His presence is very large, and of course Coach Howland's done a great job. We went to 3 Final Fours in a row, and but they're going to be a little surly, I'm sure. They've lost 4 straight, and I guarantee you Coach Howland isn't too concerned with who's coming in Saturday as much as he is just getting his team ready to play. So it'll be tough, and it's a great atmosphere. It's my second time playing there, and obviously for a lot of these guys it'll be their first time, and it really is historical. But as easy it is to say, once the ball gets thrown up, tip-off, all that stuff goes out the window, and it's Cal Poly competing against UCLA and seeing what happens after that.
have you been able to get a feel from your guys, especially the kids that grew up in California, about how cool this is going to be on Saturday to play out there?
You know, we haven't even talked about it yet. You know, we're in finals, and it's, you know, we were preparing for LMU, and now the guys have a couple days off, and we'll get back to work on Wednesday, and we'll start talking about UCLA. So, you know, we do talk to them about that we are going to challenge them every year with our schedule, you know, to try to get out and play a real competitive schedule and something that's going to be memorable. You know, last year we played at South Dakota State and then turned around and jumped on a flight and flew to Wisconsin, and that was a great experience for the guys in terms of playing at a different venue. So we definitely do try to do that. But in terms of talking about UCLA, you know, all those things, we haven't had any of that dialogue.
What is going to be the biggest difference in your next 3 games compared to what your guys are used to with Big West opponents and LMUs and that kind of thing?
The obvious is size. You know, across the board, we're probably going to be giving up a couple inches probably at every position, and really talking to our guys about trying to neutralize them against better athletes. You got to get into their bodies. We've got to try to rebound out in front of us. We can't just get into a volleyball match, as I say, and just try to jump straight up and down with them to get rebounds, and then taking care of the basketball. You can't have those turnovers that lead to easy baskets. And you know, as we look at a game and evaluate, you know, our baskets versus theirs, and it's pretty simple: is how many easy ones are we getting? How many easy ones are they getting? And we really need to eliminate the easy baskets.
A team can change a lot between, you know, before Christmas and after Christmas. Are there signs on your squad that lead you to believe that conference schedule in January and beyond could be a lot more encouraging than maybe what's been seen so far?
Well, from an individual standpoint, I think we're seeing some real maturation process by Malik Love, the freshman. I mean, he's been thrown into a situation where we've turned the ball over to him to become our starting point guard. I think he's done a great job. He's so coachable. He tries to do everything that we say, and he's very conscientious about it, and he's having some success. But we also know that there's a learning curve, and he's also going to struggle a little bit at times, but you expect that out of a freshman. Probably what we're hoping to really establish here in the next couple weeks going into conference play is get a little bit more consistent contribution out of Will Donahue, and we have to do our part by getting him the ball a little bit more and allowing him to have those opportunities.
Yeah, the final thing for me is kind of in that line. If you don't have a guy you can throw it to on the block that can be a scoring threat, do you have to get creative, or I mean, how are you guys addressing that issue?
Well, you know, Will Donahue really is a guy that really passes it well. I think the last couple games he's had a positive assist to turnover ratio. He really understands. He's a good passer. He's a guy that can score if we create some angles for him. He's just not a guy you give it to in the post and say go to work. Really, our most creative scorer at the block is probably David Hansen, and he's probably our most versatile guy, which is evident. We've seen him score on the perimeter a little bit, but I know times last year he was really able to take advantage of guys at the block, and I think that's something we're going to do a little bit more to mix him inside and out, and even move Donahue out on the perimeter at times to take advantage of mismatches go both ways in terms of matchups, and if he's got a slower guy on him that's not going to come out and guard him, we're talking about Donahue, maybe we take him away from the basket and he becomes a really good ball screen guy, and then work him back into the post. So we're looking at all different things here in these next couple weeks.
And leading into UCLA, will you go about the same thing, show them the video of UCLA and just like it's a regular opponent?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll game plan and do scouting report all the same.
I got one more question. We're not going to see you before the San Diego State game. I know it's 2 games away, but I mean, I believe they're ranked 15th in the country, playing real well. What can you tell us about San Diego State? What kind of a challenge will that be down there for you guys?
They will, besides the ranking, which is an obvious testament to how good they are, they'll be by far the best team we play, not just from a talent standpoint, but athletically as well. They're long. Their point guard's a 6-foot guy, but then after that, they're all just about the same size, and they're athletic and very versatile, which makes them really tough. They can switch screens, and one guy can go inside, one guy can go outside, and they really cause problems for people in that aspect. So, we'll have one day prepare for them, and then go into San Diego and toss it up and go from there. So we'll see. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Good luck.
Thanks.